How are you? I'm doing well. My name is Amanda. I am the owner and operator of Coastal Wool Washing. You may also know me from my YouTube channel, MandaMadeIt. um, I have come up with a fun new product to put into my Coastal Wool Washing Etsy shop. And I hope that it helps to make scouring raw wool a little more accessible and less intimidating for beginners. Um, so essentially what I have here is a learn to scour kit. What is included in this kit is a 4-ounce bottle of either the Unicorn Power Scour, which is scented with lavender, or I also have the Unicorn Beyond Clean, same size bottle, 4 ounces, and it's the same stuff, it just doesn't have the lavender scent, so it's unscented for those of you who have maybe sensitivities to certain scents. So it comes with that. It will come with compostable, food safe gloves, which I will get into a little bit more in a minute. Comes with a mesh bag for washing. It has a drawstring, and this will hold roughly 3 ounces of wool to wash if you choose to use a mesh bag for doing your washing. Also comes with a biodegradable wooden spoon, which is roughly about a teaspoon. It holds roughly that. So you can use this for measuring, for pushing your wool underwater, things like that. I also have in the kit a drawstring muslin bag. This is going to be for storage after you wash your wool. Not huge, but it will hold the wool. And then there's also a tag that will look similar to this in the kit, in which you can write down any pertinent information that you want to write down on it, whether it's just the breed and how much you have, the date, whatever. That's entirely up to you. Now the other thing we have is wool. So for this first rendition of this kit, I have got wool from Green County Wool, which is a farm in upstate New York that does CVM fleece. So you will also, in addition to all those things in this kit, get 6 ounces of CVM raw fleece. This will need to be skirted. It does have some VM. There may be a poop tag or two, but it's not overwhelming because they are a coated sheep farm, meaning that they put coats on their sheep throughout the season, the growing season, and they change the coats, to fit the size of the fleece as they grow. And so there's just not a lot of vegetable matter and stuff that accrues in the fleece. The wool that is included in this kit is the skirtings from them. So it is not wool that has lived underneath the coat. It has lived outside of the coat. So it does have some vegetable matter. There is some poop and stuff in there, which allows you to try your hand at picking out some vegetable matter, identifying and getting rid of some poop tags, but not trying to do it for a 10-pound fleece, unless you want to. So you will be getting 6 ounces of wool in your kit. For this particular wool, there is roughly a 30% loss due to lanolin after scouring. So I'm going to say you'll end up somewhere around 4 ounces of clean wool, give or take a little. However, this bag, as I said, only holds about 3 ounces. So you get to do 2 batches, so you can try different things. You can try to stuff it all in there, and then you'll learn that there's a reason why I'm suggesting only putting 3 ounces in there. Or maybe you won't. It's up to you. You get to try however you want. And also included in this will be a quick easy, simple, step-by-step how to scour fleece. It is information that's available everywhere online. It is not going to be in-depth information. It's literally just going to be the steps. If you want to know why or you know, the science behind things, Kamaj Fiber Arts has a whole book on it. Fossil Fibers has blog posts that are detail scouring methods and her particular method, as well as fleece imperfections. And those are great resources. You can find all of the information that will be included in this online. You do not have to buy it from me. You can find all of these pieces to this kit online. You don't have to buy it from me. However, when I was looking to learn how to scour, could not find all of the pieces I wanted in one spot. So I thought I'd put this together and see how people liked it. The only things really that you will need in terms of physical items, you will need a container of some sort. For my demonstration, I'm just using this bowl. This is one of my fiber processing bowls. This is not a kitchen bowl. And you will need hot water, typically somewhere between 140 to 160 degrees. It melts off the lanolin. That's what it does. So it allows the Unicorn Power Scour to take the lanolin away. And other than that, really, the only other thing you're probably gonna want is a drying rack of some sort. You can even just take the wool out and lay it on top of the mesh bag, on top of something else, you know. But like a drying rack, like a cookie sheet cooling rack would work. Really anything that's perforated and allows airflow so that the fleece can dry faster and more evenly, so that you don't end up with wet pockets. But that's really all you're going to need to provide yourself, and time, and willingness. So anyway, this is just a new product that I have, and I hope you guys are interested in it. And you can find it again on my Etsy shop at Coastal Wool Washing on Etsy. And I look forward to perhaps working with some other farms and bringing some other types of fleece into this, so people can get a chance to explore a little bit. And happy scouring. Hello, my friends. So welcome and thank you for joining me on this little demonstration of how to use the How to Scour kit. We are going to start off with, this is not a mandatory part. However, in dealing with raw fleece, there will be fecal matter, urine, sweat, vegetable matter, things that can poke you, things that, you know, can be a little gross. So I have included gloves in this kit for you if you would like to use them. They are fully compostable, home compostable. They can go in your compost bin and just go outside and they will break down. So, you know, if you decide you don't want to use them, you can still throw them out in your compost and they will be just fine. So the first step to scouring raw wool is you have to inspect it. What we hope is that it has been skirted ahead of time. And skirting is the process of removing large pieces of VM, big poop tags, shortcuts, things of that nature, things that we don't want in our finished product. So what you're going to do with your wool is you're going to, one, if you're working inside, I don't typically work inside, but I'm going to show you this as I work inside because it's raining out right now. I have just a brown paper bag. I'm using this to cover my surface so that I don't put sheep poop on my table. And then I am going to go through and take a look at this. And I'm going to pick out any vegetable matter that I see that I would like to get rid of. And more importantly, because vegetable matter does come out as you work through. So I'll pick out the big pieces, but I'm not super worried about small pieces. After that, but also, I should say, I will be going through and looking to see if there are any large poop tags. And large is a subjective thing. It's whatever you don't want to deal with, you know. Some people are like, whatever, it's poop, it'll wash out. Other people are like, no, it absolutely will not. That's a personal choice that you have to make. So, let's see if I can show this. This is a little shortcut type thing. So I just pulled that out. You know, these are not things that are wrong with the fleece. They just are part of the fleece. This is CVM from Greene County Wool up in upstate New York. It's just beautiful stuff. And this is actually the skirtings from their coated sheep. So this is the stuff that is outside of the coat. And there is like such a small amount of vegetable matter and really a small amount of, you know, fecal matter in there. So, you know, you just take a look through and like this is the dark fleece. I should have chosen a lighter one to work with, but it's hard for me to see sometimes. So, but I can generally feel like, I know it's hard to see. See how that's all kind of stuck together? Let me cover my eyes and then see if I can see what I'm doing. Whatever, you get the idea. That's kind of, it's kind of stuck together. Now, could you wash that out? Quite possibly, yes. You know, again, that's an up to you thing. You have to make that decision for yourself. So I'm just going to kind of go through the rest of this and pull it apart a little bit. I am not washing the keeping lock structure. That's not a method that I really care to do that much, so I don't. But if you were trying to keep lock structure, then you would not be pulling them apart like this. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and keep working through this, and I will see you on the other side. Okay, so this is about 3 ounces of the wool that I have just picked through. This is all the stuff that I took out. Not much, less than half an ounce, I imagine, 1/4 ounce maybe. Now I'm going to put all those 3 ounces in this bag. Now you're like, oh, but there's still room at the top. We need room, okay? Not everybody scours in a bag. I don't always scour in a bag. However, it allows for things to be a little easier to manage in some ways, depending on your systems that you have. If you don't want to use the mesh bag, don't. Just put the wool in the water the way that it is, and that's fine. And if you want to try, you have enough wool that you can try both ways. So, all right, we've got our wool in here, and we're going to go get set up for scouring. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so we're in my kitchen. My sink is right here. I have got my picked through wool in its little mesh bag. I've got my bowl. Got my spoon for measuring. I've got my scour, my power scour. General rule of thumb that I like to use is that you want roughly 2 gallons of water, hot water, to 1 pound of fleece. We're doing 3 ounces, so you don't need that much water. A bowl of this size is perfectly acceptable. Whatever container you have works. So I'm gonna explain what I'm gonna do, and then I'll put music over it because the sound of running water can be a little, into a metal bowl can be a little hard for some people. But as I said before, this spoon is roughly about a teaspoon, okay? Power Scour, you want to use a tablespoon of Power Scour for every 2 gallons of water, okay? There's mathy stuff. If you want to be very specific, you are welcome to be very specific and do the math and, you know, look at the different resources that I mentioned previously, the fossil fibers percentage method, also Kamaj Fiber's book. For our purposes, because I think that sometimes starting off with less to focus on, the better. So I am going to do, for 3 ounces, 2 of these. CVM is a high lanolin fleece, so it's going to take a little extra work to get the lanolin out. Now, all that I do is, so you know this is fresh, I haven't even taken the seal off. Okay. All that I do is you're just gonna pour it in, do it twice. If you put a little extra, it's okay. If you don't get quite the same amount, that's okay too. It's all right. And then I put the lid on so that I don't knock this over. And then I'm gonna add my hot water. So I'm gonna get it. My tap, we have our water heater turned up, so my tap water is hot enough, around 140. If yours is not, just boil some water and pour it in. You essentially, and if you don't want to measure the temperature of your water, it's basically, you can put your hand in it, but you can't keep your hand in it. So like you can put your hand in, then you want to go, oh, that's hot enough. Okay, you don't need it boiling. And if you don't have it hot enough, the lanolin's not going to come out, and you have to do more and more scours and rinses and all of that. So you really kind of want to make sure that it's not comfortable for you to put your hand in the water. It's not supposed to be. You are rinsing out, you are washing out lanolin, poop, urine, sweat, and whatever heck else gets into that fleece. So just let it get hot, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and get this bowl filled up, and then we'll talk some more. Okay, we have got our Scour filled bowl, hot water, and now I am just gonna take my wool, I'll let it sit on top, and then I'm gonna use the spoon to push it down. Make sure it's fully submerged. And now we're gonna set a timer for 10 to 15 minutes. I'm probably gonna do 15 minutes because that's what I always do. It's gonna depend on, you're gonna learn what you like to do. So, Alexa, set timer for 15 minutes.
15 minutes, starting now.
All right, I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, friends, so timer has gone off. It's been 15 minutes. I am going to take this out, take the bag out. I'm just gonna drain a little. Now, you don't want to wring out the water. You just want to press gently. Okay, you're not rubbing it, you're not squeezing it, you're not doing any of that stuff. You're just pressing gently. And getting as much of that water out as possible because it's just dirty water. Now, the Power Scour and the lanolin and everything that's in this are all biodegradable, great for your grass and your plants. You don't want to pour hot water onto your plants. So, you have a couple choices. You can dump this out in your yard where you don't care if it's hot on it. You can let it cool, the water cool in a separate receptacle. That is up to you. You can also dump this down your drain. It's not advisable. Depending on your plumbing situation, if you have a septic tank, or if you're in city sewer and water, your levels of concern can vary a little bit. And again, that's a personal choice, but really, if you can, dump it outside. Nothing wrong with that. So I'm going to show you now, I'm going to try to show you now what this water looks like. So you see that kind of brownish color, and it's kind of opaque a little bit. I know what I need. A mason jar. So this, all that cloudiness is lanolin. If your water is cloudy, that means you've still got lanolin in it. Not a bad thing, just what it means. So I'm gonna go dump this. I'm gonna fill it up with hot water again, and I'm gonna soak again for 15 minutes. So I'll meet you back here in just a minute. All right, I forgot to say that my typical method, which is not everybody's method, is to do another scour with about half the amount of the power scour. It depends, again, on the fleece that you are doing. For this CVM, I am going to do another full teaspoon. I'm going to do the same amount of hot water, and then I'm going to put the wool in there for another 15 minutes, and then we'll check on it again. Okay, our second timer is done. Pick up the wool. Oops, I got my spoon all the way in there, huh? We're going to do the same thing as before. You're just going to gently squeeze. All right, and then I'm going to show you. You can see it's just cloudy now, right? There's almost no color to it. So chances are we've gotten rid of most of the dirt. Now I'm gonna go dump this, and then we'll do our rinse water. Again, we will make sure we press out all the water. Just pressing, not wringing. We will shift our wool down again, lay it on top, and push it in, and we will do another 15-minute timer. And we may be done. After that, we may need another one. It is going to depend on what you see in your rinse water when you are done. And that is still a personal kind of choice to make. But I will show you what mine looks like and go from there. Okay. All right, so been another 15 minutes, and it's time to take out our wool and see what the water is looking like. So, oh yeah. All right. Another gentle press. There we go. You can see it's still cloudy. So I'm gonna do one more rinse. There are some people who would not continue rinsing. There are some people who will, like myself, continue going. But yeah, we're gonna do one more rinse, probably just for 10 minutes, and then I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so beautiful. Now, This is going to be my last rinse. We just did a 10-minute last soak in the same hot water we've been doing. Gonna rinse out my mason jar a little so I can show you really what this water looks like. Okay, there is the faintest amount of cloudiness in there. That does not bother me. I am not looking to get my water crystal clear. That is not my goal for my own personal spinning, so I do not do that. Now, what can we do about drying? Hold a moment. What I use at home is a salad spinner, an old one that does not get used on food. And I use this for doing my skeins of hand spun yarn when I'm at home. I have a spin dryer at my shop. It's not necessary. Even using a salad spinner is not necessary. You can go outside, grab hold of this, and just it'll spin some of the water out. But I'm gonna tease this down a little. Set this in there. See if you can see this. All right. Okay. And now that's about all the water that I got out of that. I can do one more spin. Okay. Really less than a teaspoon. And now it's ready to dry. So how are we going to dry this? Airflow, time, those are going to be your most important factors for this. If it's nice outside, setting it outside in the sun for a couple of hours is going to do wonders. For at home, for your first shot, like, you can use a sweater drying rack, you can use nothing. You can put it on a cooling rack. Open it up. Pull out your wool. Remember, you still don't want to like really manhandle it a lot. And what I do, I'll come through and I just kind of pull it apart just a little, in case it has gotten clumped up at all. And just spread it out. And then I just let it dry. You can put it outside, put it in your basement, just put it somewhere where it's gonna get airflow, and check on it occasionally. Don't do a whole lot to it, but check on it. And when you check it if it's wet, or damp or whatever, just flip it. You know, when you see, as inevitably you will, you'll go through and you'll be like, oh, there's a piece of VM, pick it out. That's just what happens. That's just what we do. So that, my friends, is how to scour with the Coastal Wool Washing Scour Kit. All of the information that I have shared with you in here is available for free online or for purchase in books, courses, whatever. But I hope that this breaks the barrier of intimidation and accessibility for you, and that you enjoy scouring wool as much as I do. If you decide to do this, if you have the kit, please tag me on Instagram. Let me know how it goes. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there's something that I could do better. And yeah, I will talk to you all soon. Happy scouring. Bye.